As an attorney, we used to use legal pads, and because I used ink, a lot of legal pads were no good. There was a lot of bleeding.
Yeah.
So we kept looking for the finest papers we could, and eventually we settled on high-grade papers, much of which was brought into our show years ago by Sam from Pandemonium, Rhodia being one of them. She has a very big business in fine paper products, note card, note holders, little notebooks, medium-sized notebooks, legal pads. So we're always looking for papers that are sized properly. Pads.
Do you also travel around the U.S. and?
At one point or another, I've traveled to virtually every pen show in the United States. We started in New Jersey back in 85, 86. Then we went to Los Angeles when we started that up in 86, 87. I've been to Houston, I've been to St. Louis, I've been to Washington, D.C., I've been to Detroit, Michigan. I haven't been to the Little Rock show, but over the years, shows have come and gone. The three that have been around the longest are Chicago first, New Jersey second, Los Angeles third, and at the same time Boston was in the mid-80s. And at the same time, virtually every book written on pens in the 1980s consulted with me, and in the 90s used photographs of my pens in their books, used me for some information along with other local collectors. So the Glenn Bowen books, then we went to fountain pens have been important to men forever because there's very few items men use as status symbols or in their everyday life. They have their pen, they have their watch, and they had cufflinks. Now we're getting more and more women into pen collecting. For years there were very, very few, and now we're getting a growing population of women who discovered the joy of writing with fine writing instruments. And it's visible in our pen show now, where we have actually women dealers set up, a lot more women customers. So that is a good trend. Fountain pens are still considered somewhat of an anomaly by most of the public, but ink is now available everywhere. Pens can be bought everywhere, and what we need is more fine writing papers to be distributed where we can buy them readily instead of having to search for them.
With the advent of the internet and explosion, why do you think this has become more relevant in the modern world?
Because actually, to be honest with you, more and more collectors are using the internet to acquire the writing.
We have architects.
Writing is still very, very, very much a part of the everyday life of most people. You can't carry a computer around with you, and you can't sign legal documents with a computer at a meeting. Everything is done by hand.
Well, thank you very much for your
computer around with you, and you can't.